Welcome to another unit in this SPSS course. This time I'm going to talk about how we can use the process macro for SPSS to run more sophisticated moderation or mediation analyses. Well, first, before we can actually discuss how to use this, we actually need to get and install it. So simply go to www.processmacro.org. And you get to this homepage. On this homepage, you simply click on download, scroll to the bottom of the page, and click the download button. This will get you a zip file which you first need to unzip. If you do this, you get to this part which it simply calls process and the version number. Double clicking this shows here, aside from some additional materials, the macros for our SAS and SPSS. So if we want to install this for SPSS, simply double click this folder and then go to Custom Dialog Builder file. And here we have the process SPD file. We can simply double click this file. This will automatically add the process macro to our SPSS menu. So in other words, if I switch now to SPSS, I would go to Analyze, Regression, then here I can see the process macro. This looks like this one here, having different variables on the right side, differentiated into Y, X, M, W, and Z. And more importantly, on the left side, a model number. And that's actually the most important part here, because this tells the macro which kind of model you actually want to estimate. Is it a moderating, a double moderating, a mediating model, or even something more sophisticated? So that's what we actually need to know a bit more about, because, well, here, as you can see, it simply reads all the numbers from 1 to 92 without any additional information. Well, we also need to know which model we run, because depending on the model, we might have to add different variables to different fields here. So how do we find out which model is actually the most fitting for our purpose? Well, you could go simple Google search, type in process SPSS. That's also how you can find the macro. And then you scroll until you find this file from Darden, Virginia Education, called Introduction to Mediation, Moderation and Conditional whatsoever. This looks like some kind of advertisement flyer in the first and second part, and even in the third part. But then it starts becoming interesting, because afterwards they list all the different models. So here it says model type 1. We can see its classical moderation design. And it also tells us what is this actually estimating. So here it's estimating the direct effect of variable x and m and the interaction term of x and m. So this also tells us which of our variables from the data set to put into which of the fields. You might recall they were called m, x, y. Well, that's what you have to enter here. And you can see here, in this case, we have two moderators. We have a moderating effect, which in turn is moderated itself. Or here, model 4, the classical mediating effect. So if we turn back to SPSS, you can see here that was the dependent, the classical normal independent variable, or the mediators, so the MIs, or the moderator. So it depends on which model you actually want to use. And in particular, well, if we scroll down to the very bottom, so to the last page, you see even this does not cover all the 92 models, but it's a pretty good guess, and well, it covers most of the important aspects which could be interesting for us. So in this context, I think you will have a decent enough approach telling you for more sophisticated models, more sophisticated mediating, moderating models, how to work them, how to realize them most easily in SPSS. And well, this already concludes the short session on the corresponding macro. So I hope you enjoyed it. I say goodbye and see you next time.